That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? You know, I jumped before the show started today, earlier this morning as I was gathering all the show notes and everything together. I asked in our community tab, I asked, hey guys, is there anything you'd like to hear us discuss today? And the one that came in that got overwhelmingly the most thumbs up was somebody asked, who the hell is going to be in the Avengers by the time Doomsday gets around? And at first I kind of ignored it, but I thought, you know, that could be kind of fun to talk about. Because one of the things we've complained about in the MCU lately is that we don't even have any idea what the Avengers are right now, who they are, let alone what even the story of the MCU has been ever since Endgame. And so as we're now getting closer and closer, and we just had a Captain America Brave New World film where we actually have the president saying, I want to put the Avengers back together. All right. So why did I just sound more like Joker than Harrison Ford? Anyway, so we're heading into that, and I thought it might be fun. We do these once in a while. But running down some characters who we believe could, or maybe won't, be in the Avengers. So guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to list off a character. I'm going to give my percentage chance that I think they'll be in it. And I want to hear what you guys think. And then once we get to the end of my list, I'm going to see if there's any other names that you guys think I left out. All right? We're going to start off with this one. He's one of the OGs. Thor. Now, after Thor, Love and Thunder, there were some question marks about the character anymore. Actually, Chris Hemsworth kind of implied maybe he might be done, but then later in other interviews said, no, I'm looking forward to coming back. It just wouldn't be with Taika Waititi, unfortunately. But he said Thor is going to come back. I don't know how you do an Avengers movie today without representation from the OG Avengers. I think you need it. I think he's the biggest draw. Thor, Love and Thunder, as much as it was received, it made a lot of money. People still went out to go see it. I'm going to give a 100% that Thor is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Chris, what do you think?
I'd go like 85, just to be safe. Things could happen.
Not an absolute
I don't
certainty.
think anything is guaranteed in this life. I trust and love no one, including the Asgardians.
Rob, Thor being in the Avengers.
I gotta go. I gotta go 100% on this because they need someone who actually has real power.
That's true. All right.
100%.
We move on from that character. It's talking about real power. An individual powerful enough to single-handedly stop Kang the Conqueror, Ant-Man. Ant-Man as being in there. Of course, Ant-Man is still out there. He's still doing his thing. Paul Rudd has always been absolutely delightful. After the debacle, though, of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which is one of the worst MCU movies, and I'm a huge fan of Paul Rudd's Ant-Man. I love the first one. I really quite enjoy the second one, not as much as the first, but Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania would think. It brings that into question a bit. I still like it. I mean, minor spoiler alert. There's an awful lot of Ant-Man references in Captain America Brave New World. I'm going to go 75% that Ant-Man is going to be part of Avengers Doomsday. Rob, what do you think?
I'm going 85.
Even more so.
He's become, look, he's Giant Man too. So
that's true.
They need.
We saw his skeleton in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Absolutely, and I think he's a great performer. He's a delightful guy, and Ant-Man got a trilogy. Regardless, and the first two are pretty damn good. So I'm gonna go Ant-Man 85%.
Chris, what do you think about the idea of Ant-Man being there?
I'm gonna go with Rob. I'm
75%.
Yeah, he makes great support stuff. He's wonderful and charming, and come on, Paul Rudd on the lunchbox. Also, an Ant-Man should be on the lunchbox. It's just a historic member of the Avengers lineup.
Yeah, and he's got to go. He's got to do the boys thing. He's got to get real small, crawl into someone's buttocks and blow up.
Doom's mask.
We need to see that happen during Secret Wars.
All right.
Happen.
Come on, Disney, you cowards.
Yeah.
Go up a
His face
butt.
is sticky.
Let's move on to the next one here. A character that Kevin Feige once dubbed as the most powerful character in the MCU. And certainly had a hell of a appearance and pop-up and introduction in Endgame, Captain Marvel. Now, I don't first of all, I'm a fan of the original Captain Marvel movie. I thought it was quite good. Not top tier MCU, mid tier MCU. I enjoyed it. The Marvels not as good. I like the Marvels more than most people do. Like, I don't particularly love it.
It's not the train wreck people made it out to be, though.
I actually thought it was okay.
I think they could have skipped the musical scenes,
Yes.
like in that
Oh,
planet.
yes.
And then that goes so weird. Everything else was like flowing.
That's when I went to the restroom and I loved the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
had a
mean,
great
yeah.
time.
Anyway, we could go on and on about the Marvels, but still, this is a majorly significant character in the MCU, and one that would be incredibly dubious by her absence in this. And therefore, I'm going to say, especially going to your point you made about Thor earlier, you're going to need to have some characters in here who have some substantial power. Captain Marvel's it. I'm going to say it's 100% Captain Marvel's in there. Chris, what do you think?
I don't know, because she's so overpowered. You need her for Avengers level threats, but you also have the line too of, this isn't the only galaxy that needs my help, or universe, or whatever she says. So I don't know if she'd be a consistent team player, because also she has not historically enjoyed being a team player. I don't
Rob, what do you think?
know.
I'm with Chris. I don't know. I mean, look, to be honest, I like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I
Me
liked
too.
the first Captain Marvel quite a bit. I thought it was a really fun science fiction B movie, call it that. I really liked when she showed up and rescued Tony Stark in Endgame.
Oh, that was
You
a
know,
great moment.
That was
yeah.
a great moment. And I think I think she's kind of been done dirty by the way she's been used in terms of the way her character has been written. I think if she's written well and they give her a part that Brie Larson could be enticed to come back, I think Brie Larson herself, I think they could bring Captain Marvel back, but it might not be Brie Larson playing her.
Oh.
Because I mean, just because I feel that she hasn't been, why subject herself to that? I mean, she has said on the red carpet, I don't, who knows? Maybe I'll come back. I liked her in the role. I'd like to see her. I would like to see her part. I'd love to have her come back, and I think she should get rewritten. Give her something great to play. Entice her. She's an Academy Award-winning actress.
If I understand it right, I think she has 2 films left on her deal. So if Marvel wants her to be back playing the role, it could probably compel her. But they didn't compel Agent Smith, who played
Hugo
Red Skull.
Weaving.
Hugo Weaving, thank you. They didn't compel Hugo Weaving to come back to play Red Skull, even though they could have because he was under contract. So maybe they wouldn't make Brie Larson do it.
I'd like to see her come back, and I would like to see her well-written and give her something to play.
All right. We're going to keep moving here. We're going to have to move at a faster pace because I got a lot of names here.
Sorry.
All right. We just got a movie with him. Sam Wilson, the current Captain America. Oh, guys, there isn't any doubt here, right? Like, absolutely Sam Wilson. With the response to Brave New World, I don't know what kind of role he'll play in the new ones, but I don't think there's any doubt that Anthony Mackie's going to be in Doomsday. Do you, Rob? Any doubt?
No, 100%.
100%, Chris?
99.9.
99.9, because you already said
Yeah.
you won't go 100.
I won't go 100.
Got it.
I refuse.
All right, this one's interesting. Tom Holland's Spider-Man. From a practical point of view, he is your most popular character. I don't know how you can do this without him. I don't know how you can do an Avengers movie without putting him in there while he's still around. Now, again, he's got a heavy dance card. There are reports going around that they're going to kind of Mandalorian him because they're saying a lot of the movie he might have the mask on and then he might have to come in and just do the voiceover of a stunt actor in the costume and only do a couple of scenes with the mask off. I mean, whatever. But I just don't see a reality that you do an Avengers movie right now without Spider-Man. Chris, how do you see that?
No, he's wildly popular. I think he would be in there. And plus, I'm so interested to see how they deal with the memory wipe of, well, yeah, everyone remembers Spider-Man. So how are they going to reconcile knowing, like, are they still going to have the recollection of he's just a kid? Or is it just, oh yeah, this arachnid fella came and helped us sometime and he did a pretty okay job. I'm really interested to see how they balance out what they've already written with how they move forward with him. I think he has to be in there.
But remember, even with the spell, now that, like, everybody remembers Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They just don't remember Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Okay. But the moment Spider-Man shows up and takes his mask off somebody, my name's Peter Parker, they now know who he is.
Exactly.
Right? So they can kind of get around that if they need to.
Sure, if he chooses to go
If he
that route
chooses
again,
to,
because
yeah.
he had to do that before because of people knowing his secret identity.
Rob, Spider-Man.
100%.
100%.
I mean, and it's multiversal. Which Spider-Man? How many Spider-Man?
Well, yeah. Well, that becomes another question.
Yeah,
Because some
it's a
people think we're going to
but
get
yeah, I
Toby
think
and
Tom
Andrew
Holland-
back.
I think he'd want to do it. You know, who doesn't want to be in an Avengers movie if you can?
All right. So we've talked about Thor, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Spider-Man. Now we go on to another Marvel. I think the second best Disney Plus Marvel series, Ms. Marvel.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think they are I think they, being the folks over at Marvel, I think they are very big on Kamala Khan. I think they like this character a lot. You could see it with the video games that they made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she takes on a major role in this film, but I think there's a good 75% chance that we see, good Canadian girl, by the way, that we see Ms. Marvel in Avengers Doomsday. Chris?
I think we see her in here. I don't know if she's a full-fledged Avenger. I think, especially with her trying to like make the Young Avengers a thing, I feel like it's yep, we love your enthusiasm. We know that you've done some good work. I don't know if we're ready to have you in here, kid. But I think she's absolutely in the movie.
Okay, yeah, I think there's a really strong chance she's in the movie. Rob?
I agree with Chris. I think she'll be in it, but she'll get killed. First time she goes into battle against whomever. I mean, she just doesn't have the experience.
Depends on, well, remember, it's been years now since that series came
but
out.
they-
So
I mean, maybe
it depends
they'll-
how much they say she's grown in that.
I think she's a delightful character, and I like her a lot, Amon Vellani.
Iman
And
Vellani,
I
yep.
thought she's great. I just don't know about, but I think she's going to be in the movie for sure.
All
Look,
right.
they're going to put everybody in this movie.
Yeah.
Next up.
They don't have anyone else to.
This is one of the ones I'm going to say it's 100%. And I've been complaining about the absence of this character since they first showed up. Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, who apparently is in possession of things so powerful, a bunch of the top Avenger characters had to come together to try to figure out what, and truly how unlimited is the power with the 10 rings. I love this character. I still think I'm in the minority on this, and that's fine. It's always lonely being right. I think Shang-Chi is the best Marvel movie since Endgame. I don't think there's been a better one since. And I say that with great respect for Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. And I thought the Marvels was going to directly connect with the rings.
So did
it
I.
seemed like that
Yeah.
was the through line, but
And they did have some connections in
Little
there.
bit,
They
but-
had some vague things, but let's put it this way. I will be shocked if Shang-Chi is not in the Avengers Endgame, or Doomsday, I should say. What do you think?
100%. I think
It is
100% he's
100%.
going to be in the film.
Yeah.
You know,
9-9. He, like Rob said before, you need people with actual power. It makes
Yep.
sense.
And he'll be one of them. All right. Let's move on to this. They're not here yet, but they are coming. And where their movie ends, we're not really sure. But do the Fantastic Four appear in Avengers Doomsday? Because before I give you my percentage, there is an argument to be made that the events of Doomsday may open them coming into the universe and then be there for, say, Avengers Secret Wars, that maybe they aren't in the first one. I think everybody agrees that they're going to appear in one or both of the two, but will they be there in Doomsday? I'm going to say only 60%. So I do think they will be, but I actually think there might be a chance they're saved for
Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But I'm still I would lean towards them being there. I don't know, Chris, what do you think?
I feel like the knee-jerk reaction is Doomsday. Well, of course they're going to be there. It's got Doom in the title. We're not counting like a post-credit situation as being
Yeah, not
in the
counting
movie.
post-credit.
Okay, then no, I don't. I think it's under 50%.
So you're going to go under 50. So
Yeah.
you're going to say it's less
I'm
than
gonna say it's
likely.
less. Yeah.
Rob, what about you?
100%.
100% they're going to be there.
100%. And whatever happens at the end of Fantastic Four is going to lead into this.
Okay.
Yeah,
And not only
that's
that,
the other. That's why I lean on
the
60%.
Fantastic Four could be utilized the way the Guardians of the Galaxy were utilized in Infinity War and Endgame.
The chat is saying they're confirmed to be in there. Is that true, or is that the chat feeling feelings? Guys, I need a source.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I'll look on IMDb, but that's not always.
No.
because
Well,
the,
IMDb isn't accurate,
Yeah.
so.
because the Avengers, I mean, they can have other teams, you know, just like the Guardians were in Infinity War and Endgame, being the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they were part of what was going on. I mean, they were on Titan fighting Thanos, so there's no reason to believe that the Fantastic Four are not going to be in this film, because we know that Doctor Doom is also coming from a different Earth.
By the way, some people are saying Feige actually said at Comic-Con that Fantastic Four will be in Doomsday.
Oh, well,
I don't remember him saying that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't remember it. That's fine. There are things I don't remember sometimes. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Again, talking about power, talking about level. Wasn't an OG, but getting close. Doctor Strange. Now, Doctor Strange is not a member of the Avengers, but that's fine. We're really more talking about who's going to be in this Avengers movie. Benedict has talked a lot about how Doctor Strange isn't even really a member of the Avengers. He's Avengers adjacent sort of thing. Again, I think the most automatic person that's going to be there is Sam Wilson. I think the second most automatic person is Doctor Strange. I just don't see you doing this film without him, Rob.
100%. I mean, I don't know where he is right now.
He's gone off into
But,
the
I mean,
Charlize
yeah.
Theron.
We have
in the
the whole
cosmos.
phrase. I mean, he said, I can get you on the lunchbox. I think the first person you get on the lunchbox is himself.
I was
Right.
gonna bring this up of the hubris, the audacity.
I mean,
Well, it is Stephen Strange. He's
I mean-
got a lot of both of that.
True.
Yeah, and I think that after the events of Infinity War and Endgame, whether he's an honorary, there is no Avengers team right now.
Right.
So they're going to put one together, and he's going to be an Avenger. I mean, he's one of the core members of the Avengers, not from the very beginning, but he became one, and I think he has to be.
All right. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be curious to see what you guys say about this. Got their own Disney Plus series. Little Miss Walters. She-Hulk.
She twerk.
All right. I'm going to tell you right now, if the question were, should she be in this movie, I would say yes.
Yeah.
I desperately did not like the series, but I really liked the character. And I like Tatiana Maslany as Jen Walters. I really liked her playing the role. I think there's loads of potential with the character. I liked the character despite the fact that I didn't like the show. I think there could be a very fun place for her. So I think she should be in there. But I don't think she will be.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be in it. Although, again, I'll say it again. I think she should be. The character is great. The show, people in the live chat, learn how to make the distinction between how did the show overall turn out with this, how good are some of the individual pieces. Her as this character, I think, is great. I think she should be there. I'm going to lean that I don't think she will be. Chris?
Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those kind of 50%ers of I'd love to see her in here. I want a Hulk on the team. But I feel like with how the show did and the reception of that show too has just kind of marred the character, which is a really big shame because She-Hulk is very interesting and she is a delightful actress and wonderful in this role. She just needs a better vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, the writing is what really let She-Hulk down. Anyway, Rob, I'm saying she should be there, but I don't think she will be. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go 80%, but
Really?
But I don't necessarily think she's going to be an Avenger. I think
Right.
she'll
Which
be
is
in
fine,
the-
but in the movie.
I think she'll be in the movie,
Okay.
and I think there's going to be a lot of things about it. When she's in the movie, there's going to be jokes made about how I'd like to join the Fantastic Four instead of the Avengers.
Oh, that would be interesting. Because she is.
Yes,
Yep.
Yeah.
she was a member of the Fantastic Four
A
once.
key
I like
member
that
of the
a lot.
Fantastic
She's going
Four.
to say, you know what, I like these costumes. That she'll make some joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. About to have their debut on Disney Plus in just a couple of weeks. Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Now, the argument against is that there's a number of characters on here who are not exactly high on the power scale. Daredevil is what has been referred to as a street level character, or as he likes to put it, a human level character. But one cannot discount the character's popularity. This is going to be, I think, a big show for Disney Plus. And I'm going to believe Daredevil will be in this Avengers movie. I don't know that he's going to be an Avenger,
Right.
but I'm going to go 65%. 65% that Daredevil is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Chris, what do you think?
In it? Maybe. But an Avenger? Surely not. I don't know, like 40%. I just don't see him playing with everybody in that. I don't know. Now,
Lest we forget, we covered on this show, remember that Charlie Cox's trainer put up on his Instagram, "Oh, I'm training him for an Avengers movie," which he may have been speaking out of turn. He may not.
Right.
Maybe he
Oh,
was just
yeah.
thinking about the Daredevil series. Who knows? But that was out there.
Yeah.
So
Matt
I'm
Murdock
gonna go.
probably
I'm gonna
can
go
show up.
65. What do you think, Rob?
I think he's absolutely going to be in the movie, but like Chris, I don't think he's going to be an Avenger. And remember, this is called Doomsday, so it's not just going to be a big fight.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole. I would imagine that Doctor Doom knows who Daredevil is. There'll be some kind of character interaction. So I definitely think he's going to be in the movie, and he's definitely going to be in Secret Wars.
Guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's episode, Birddogs. You know what I hate? Dress pants. They're stiff, they're uncomfortable, and they always feel like they're fighting against me. But then I found Birddogs, and let me tell you, it's been a total game changer. These pants fit like a dream, giving you all the comfort of gym wear while still looking sharp enough for work or a night out. I wear my Birddogs everywhere, lounging at home, running errands, or even a night out at the game. The fit? Spot on. You get to pick your exact waist and length, so no awkward bagginess or tight spots. And unlike other high-end brands like Lululemon or Vuori, Birddogs skip that shiny, weird-looking material, just straight up premium comfort. And let's talk for a second about their classic quarter zip, probably my favorite thing they make. I threw it on the other day for a casual dinner and it looked sharp, but I was comfortable as if I was wearing pajamas. It's that good. For a limited time, our listeners get a free hat with every order when you use the code John Campea at birddogs.com. Get their best-selling hat completely free when you use the code John Campea at birddogs.com. Support our show and let them know we sent you. All right, just got a couple more left here. We already talked about She-Hulk. Now let's talk about the most nerfed and misused character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The guy who should be the nuclear option. But now he attends family barbecues in Hawaiian shirts. Hulk. I'm going to go back. I'm going to think this is an absolute certainty. Again, I'm going to lean back on with all the flood of new faces. Keeping some of the OG Avengers in there is going to be key. There is no, talking about need a big power level. There's no bigger power level than that if you do him right. Hulk, but they need to figure out a way to give him his split personality again. They got to get back to Savage Hulk. And I don't mind the Hulk we got in the first Avengers movie, right? I don't mind a focused Hulk where he knows what side he's on. But other than that, okay, you can beat up the bad guys, but if you're Thor standing beside Hulk, you better keep your eye open because he still might. That was one of the greatest moments in Avengers, by the way. When out of nowhere, he just cheap shots Thor. But I think you got to have him there, and please don't nerf him anymore. Give us Hulk again. But either way, whether they misuse him again or whether they start using him right again, I think he's going to be there. Chris, what do you think?
I just like that Mark in the chat was like, but what about his kid with his dumb haircut? What about him?
You can kill him. Kill him. You know what? Have Doomsday kill fucking stupid idiot bulk haircut
Why is your
Hulk boy. Kill him.
option is always to murder children?
Because it's the best. Killing children in
It's really
movies
interesting
is
that
the
the one
best.
person in this room who doesn't want children is not into murdering them. It's very interesting to me. I don't know. I genuinely don't know because of how he is now with the Professor Hulk nonsense. And
They have to
then-
fix that.
Yeah, but then why would you allow yourself to have that happen to you? Like narratively, why would Banner go, you know what? I should go back to Hulk 1.0. I don't like having control of
I'm
my
sure it wouldn't
powers
be
and
by
feelings and
choice.
thoughts.
I think it would have to be. They'd have
Something
to
would
have it something
happen
that
to him.
happens to him rather than a choice. And you know what? If you want to set up somewhere down the line, World War Hulk.
Yeah.
Two things have to happen. You got to get a little bit of duality in him again, and you got to kill his kid. You got to kill his kid. If you want there to be a World War Hulk sometime down the line, you got to kill his kid. I'm just gonna say.
See
Rob.
now. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Jonathan.
Well, I was gonna say that would have been something for the leader to do.
Yeah.
Is manipulate Green Hulk by offing his kid to release a nuclear weapon into the world.
Yeah, could be. Rob, what do you think about Hulk showing up?
100%.
100%.
Not only that, in Secret Wars, since we're talking Avengers, in Secret Wars, Eric Bana and Ed Norton are coming back, and there's going to be a moment when there's 3 Hulks.
Okay. You
But those
do
are the
know
same character.
there is no chance in hell they're going to work with Ed Norton again, right?
Maybe. I didn't think they would ever work with Wesley Snipes again either.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point.
Neither did Wesley Snipes. He's like, well, maybe if you could do it.
All right. Let's move on to
Besides,
this.
how cool would that be? Big moment. The heroes are going to lose. Suddenly, you've got 3 Hulks show up together. I brought some friends. Come on, that's an Avengers Assemble moment.
That's
That
Secret
would be
Wars,
pretty
though.
good.
And especially if you show all.
Yeah, maybe that's more Secret Wars
That's
than
what I mean.
Doomsday.
No, it's totally Secret
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah.
We're talking Doomsday. You said
Yeah,
Avengers, but can you imagine you see those 3 guys and you could just see Ruffalo come up over a hill?
Now you got to
He
deal
goes,
with 3 Hulks.
I brought some friends.
Oh,
Ed Norton comes over, Eric Bana comes over, and they all turn into Hulks looking a little bit different. And they,
Right.
come on, man. I just want to see
but
that
then that's
in
the
my
end.
lifetime.
Because what's going to fight 3 Hulks?
I mean, that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
that's when you're down and out. You're down for the count. It's a on your left moment. The portal's open and boom, 3
All right.
Hulks.
We got a few more we got to get through here.
By the way,
Here's a
Marvel, you can use
character
that.
that a lot of people thought this character's story arc had been brought to a conclusion. But then the screen goes black and said, Star-Lord will return. Talking about Peter Quill's Star-Lord, who again, if it wasn't for that last second black screen text, I would have said probably not. They're probably not. It seems like Star-Lord, he's reunited with his grandfather. He's back on Earth. The Guardians we knew have disbanded, all that kind of stuff. But they went out of their way at the end of Guardians 3 to put up that last little bit of text, Star-Lord will return. Because of that, I don't see what else he comes back in. I'm going to say coin toss. I'm going to say the 50-50 shot that Star-Lord will show up in this. Rob, what do you think?
100%.
Oh, you think 100%?
And again, he doesn't have to be a part of the Avengers. There will be something he will facilitate or have to be in or something.
Yeah.
There's going to be something going on.
Chris?
I agree with Rob. Avengers Assembled comes to mind, right? Of
Yeah.
him helping out with Dormammu and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think he's there. I just don't think he's a lunchbox boy.
All right.
Lunchbox boy.
Yeah.
Next up, going back
Oh boy.
to a potential OG Avenger, somebody who I actually think there's we were talking about Captain America the other day, and I said, I don't really see Sam Wilson as the leader, but then again, I can't see Thor as the leader. I can't see Doctor Strange as the leader. A lot of people, I don't have a lot of good options of who could be the leader of the Avengers, except for maybe Hawkeye. Hawkeye, again, military background, like he is an OG Avenger,
Became a murderer.
became a mass murderer. But he only killed bad guys.
That's true.
And let's not forget, one of the big problems with the Avengers was when Loki turned him, he gave the whole Avengers fits. I mean, he was a problem for the Avengers. What do you think about us seeing Hawkeye back now that he's fully recovered from his accident? We're talking about the actor, not the character. He's back. He's doing stuff again. Man, this is one of those ones where I absolutely think he should be there. I think it's a coin toss that he does. So I'm not going to go negative. I'm not going to go positive. I'm going to say straight up 50-50 like I did with Star-Lord. Rob, what do you think about Hawkeye being there?
I think he kind of has to be there because his omission would be glaring.
Yeah.
And again, he could be a tactician. He could be behind the scenes if he's not up for it physically. But I definitely think he's going to be. Look, opening Endgame with that scene with Hawkeye is one of the great choices anybody ever made in a fantasy film. In the history of Hollywood. That was an incredible moment, and Renner delivers the goods. And I think that he's
so good.
He's so good. And I think that to not have him in the movie would be a mistake.
Chris?
Yeah. I feel like he has to be there, but then because of the things he's done, I think Clint himself would still have a few issues of, I don't know if I should be on the lunchbox. Happy to help you kids out. Love being a hero. Constantly trying to redeem myself because we had the show.
I mean, Bucky Barnes is running for U.S. Congress.
And people know what Bucky did. Nobody knows what Roman did.
He's a pretty bad murderer.
And there's a big difference between being a politician and a hero.
This is true. This is true.
I don't know. He'd be a government agency like that.
I mean,
nobody knows about his murder.
Not trying to get political
true.
at all. I'm just going to
no.
remind us all when we talked about this with Bucky. We do live in a world right now where Americans just elected a convicted felon as president. So is it that big of a stretch to think in the comic book world that can be overlooked or forgiven.
No, I'm saying Clint's own morals would be,
Right.
I don't know if I should be a seen member of this team still.
He seemed to be over it by the time we got into the Hawkeye series.
ended.
Yeah.
But again, I'm saying if it comes down to like his discomfort watching the musical, right? And things like that of, I don't see myself as that guy still. He's made amends and he's done a lot of heroic work, but I still think there's going to be an issue of like, do I hang out at Avengers campus? Do I do all of this? Do I put my family in danger again? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm making the mistake of thinking of this in a character-driven way.
Right. No, and that's the way you should. All right. It can't be T'Challa, but our own Jeff Snyder's reporting that maybe it would be a T'Challa, but Black Panther, the Shuri version. Black Panther, the Shuri version. Listen, Wakanda's becoming an important place, an important piece in the world of the MCU. I think it would be and I'm somebody who wasn't the biggest fan of Black Panther 2, but I think it would be very jarring with a more integrated into the rest of the world Wakanda to not have the current Black Panther show up. So I'm going to say 90% that the Shuri Black Panther shows up. Chris, what do you think?
Real quick, I just want to double check. It's Doomsday, then Secret Wars?
Yes.
Right.
Then yes. I think we'll see her there. And then if the casting rumors are true, if the recast of T'Challa, then that's when we have that person
Probably would be in
take the
Secret
mantle
Wars.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you'd have Shuri in there.
Rob?
I absolutely think Shuri's going to be in there, and I think Wakanda's a major player. Wakanda
Yeah.
was a major player in Infinity War and Endgame. I think that we're definitely going to see, like, first of all, you have two Black Panther movies, and you have a Wakanda series coming. Wakanda's a major part of the MCU, and everybody in it. I think we're going to see M'Baku. I think we're going to see the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
Please, Hot Toys, make those Dora Milaje figures, please, before I die. I think it's going to happen.
All right. I got 3 left on my list here. What could arguably be the single most ridiculously overpowered character the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever seen. Straight out of the hit TV series Secret Invasion, Gaia. You know what we need? We need somebody who has all the powers. Gaia showing up in this. All right. Not only should this character not show up, I don't think Marvel will ever mention the events of Secret Invasion ever again.
No.
I think they know that show was a disaster. I think they know they made plenty of mistakes that thankfully can be isolated and they can just ignore. What happened to Gaia? She flew off. She's out there. I think it would be a monumental mistake to ever bring that character back again. I do not think she'll be back. I'm going to go a big fat, my only on this list, Easter egg, 0% chance they bring back the all-powerful Gaia. Chris, what do you think?
I think that's only my definitive, there's no way. It'll be a cold, cold day in hell. Because that'd just be stupid.
She went the way of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Rob, Gaia.
Not in Doomsday.
But you think she could show up in Secret Wars?
I think she could. The Super Skrull, whatever, call it what you want. Something. Maybe.
All right.
Man, poor Amelia Clark.
We need. I know. I mean, she gets in these movies. I mean, she thinks I'm in Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
And I like her.
I do too.
Oh, I mean, she. You know what? No, I was about to say something that isn't true. I don't think she's that good of an actress. I think she was absolutely phenomenal in Game of Thrones. I'm listening, guys. I'm just calling it as I see it. I have not been impressed with any of her work since then. And I didn't think she was all that good in that Terminator movie. I didn't think she was all that good in the Sick Boy movie. I can't even remember the name of the movie.
Last
now.
Christmas or Me Before You?
Last Christmas was another abomination.
That one was terrible.
Yeah.
Me Before You.
That was, yes. Yeah.
I think she's charming in that.
But I really like her though as a person. Anyway. All right. At one point, Kevin Feige even teased he was changing the name of his Marvel Cinematic Universe to the Wong Cinematic Universe.
Honestly,
And
should.
Madison.
Yes. Madison's on the lunchbox.
For now, Wongers. I got to agree. Wong seemingly has become the replacement for Fury as the connective tissue for the MCU. And the actor's name actually is Wong.
Right.
He is. I've loved this character since the first Doctor Strange. He's just so great and fun, and he is. Remember, as of right now, he is the MCU's Sorcerer Supreme. I don't think there's any doubt. Again, most absolute will be Captain America. Next absolute's probably Doctor Strange. Right up there too, I think it's got to be Wong. I don't think there's any doubt Wong's in this. Chris, what do you think?
Oh, he'll be in there. He's got to be. He's in charge of so much stuff.
And
He's gonna
rebuilding
show
all the
up.
sorcerers after they were all murdered.
Yeah.
Rob?
100%.
100%.
Yeah, the Wonger's got to be in this movie. He's an MVP.
Well, now, to Jonathan's joke, does Madison show up? Probably
God, I
not.
hope so.
It's too serious of a listen, I would watch a Wong and Madison series in a heartbeat, but I don't think the tone for this matches Madison being in it.
If they don't make her the school counselor for the Magic School show, what are we even doing here?
What are we doing?
I mean, they could be with each other like Netflixing, like actually Netflixing, and not Netflixing.
But can you do that in
But-
Doomsday?
But
So would
only
you
at the
do it?
beginning when he gets called away,
Okay.
and not too heavy about it. But I at the same time, no, I was joking.
All right. Last one I got. And then I'm going to see if you guys think I missed any. Any members of the Eternals. A MCU movie that I think is underrated. I don't think it's one of the best MCU movies, but I think it's an underrated movie. At the end we saw Cersei and Kingo, and who was the third that got taken away? Was it the little girl? I can't remember. But
No, because she wants to. She becomes mortal.
oh,
right?
that's
Yeah.
right. She stays. That's
Yeah.
right. 100. Whew,
It was.
I would like to see a member of the Eternals in there, particularly Kingo. Like
It feels like they're trying to keep him in the mix
Yeah.
because of What If.
I like him, and that's a good point.
Barry Keoghan's character, maybe.
I'm still going to say 30%. 30%. And I'm not even counting Black Knight in this.
Right.
I'm just like members of the Eternals. I'm going to say I would love to see Kingo in there, but I'm going to say 30%. Rob?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be some Eternal at some point in that. I think 30% is probably good.
Chris?
Something.
That seems fair.
Okay, so none of us think it's likely that we're
No.
going to see one there.
But I sure do like him.
All right, so that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like 15 names I threw out there. Is there any names that you guys think I like
Yeah.
glaringly omitted or left
Yes.
out?
Yes.
Okay, Rob, let's go to you.
Namor.
Oh, that was not what I was thinking of. But yeah, you're right.
If
He's
it's Doomsday,
pretty high powered.
if it's
Ooh.
Doomsday, I don't think Doctor Doom can have any nefarious plans without involving Atlantis.
There's this
Or Namor.
great scene in the comics. It's in the events leading up to Secret Wars and everything, where Namor goes to Victor Von Doom to talk about, hey, we've got this big problem coming, and we're really going to need your help. And in the most Doctor Doom moment ever in comics, Doctor Doom refuses to help simply because Namor asked Reed Richards first. Do you remember that scene? He goes to Latveria and Namor comes in and it's like, wait, you're not going to help just because we asked Reed first? And that is like the most Doom moment ever. I'll say 50% for Namor.
Okay.
Namor.
That's a good name to bring up, though.
I was gonna say anybody off of this team, or is it the team show up like Guardians did in
That's true.
Avengers?
The Thunderbolts. I mean, do any of them survive?
You can see
We'll
U.S.
find
Agent
out.
in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see U.S. Agent on the or in the Avengers movie.
No, but I mean they
I
show
could
up
see
as the
Yelena.
Thunderbolts.
Elena could be in there. Bucky.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
there's a
see
good
them
chance.
on the Avengers, but showing up how Guardians of the Galaxy showed up and helped the Avengers, right? Because the Guardians weren't in
Yeah.
the Avengers just because they were in
Yeah.
the movie.
They're just
They're still
they're
the
there.
Guardians.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, if Red Guardian doesn't survive Thunderbolts, I'm going to riot. I think he
I
is
don't
the-
want some sacrificial send off for Yelena to be like, go live a good life. Like, come on.
It seems like they're setting it up for that.
I also just want to point out, how do you make the greatest disruption of the ocean since the Earth was created, the Sentinel Island, and not have
Celestial Island.
the Celestial Island, pardon me, and not have the Atlanteans involved in mining rights. When they could just, I mean, they could be underneath.
Yeah,
that,
they're underneath
stealing
it.
all the adamantium.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was another thing. I'm watching this, and I'm like, how is Atlantis not involved in this?
But wasn't Atlantis like this is in the Indian Ocean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
isn't
but,
that
I mean, it's not
fairly
like-
far away from
Heck of a
Pelican
commute,
is?
Rob.
They were far away from Wakanda too.
Oh,
They
yeah.
go around Cape Horn, head out into the Pacific. They have the technology. It's just another way the MCU has been letting me down.
Chris, do you have any characters you think I omitted from the list?
Is Rhodey going to be in the mix?
Oh,
He should be. That's a huge omission from my list. I mean, he's not OG Avenger, but he's literally he is OG Marvel.
They have to retcon the fact that it was actually Rhodey who hurt his leg.
That's
And
true.
Yeah, they can get around that though by playing with how long was he in Secret Invasion. Like they could literally get around to saying he was in there for a week, or he's in there for a month, or he's in there for 10 years. I mean, they would have to do some fiddling with
Yeah.
that to just ignore that series, that series ever happened.
Because, yeah, that implication of, wait, it was a scroll the whole time?
yeah,
I hate.
hate it.
All right, guys. Well, that's kind of our rundown of who we see potentially being in Avengers Doomsday on the Lunchbox. Who is going to be there? Were there some names that you thought we left off that should be considered strong contenders? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.